The Coach Bill Oakley and Family Endowed Scholarship. Coach Oakley was the beginning of a legacy that has passed through generations. The Coach Bill Oakley and Family Endowed Scholarship is in memory of Bill Oakley, his wife Sue, and their children and grandchildren who continued the Oakley coaching legacy. Bill and Sue met while attending East Mississippi Community College. In their early years, they lived in Memphis, where Bill continued his love for the game playing baseball for Memphis State. After college, the two moved with their young children back to Northeast Mississippi for Bill to take his first coaching job. It wasn't until the mid-1950s when the Oakleys arrived in Tate County and Coach Oakley started his career at Northwest. Bill held many positions while at Northwest, including men's basketball coach, assistant football coach, athletic director, and dean of student personnel. Not long after Bill's departure from Northwest would the second generation of Oakleys emerge. In 1969, Phil would make his own mark at Northwest, playing football and baseball. Phil's younger brother, Gary, would later join the Ranger baseball team and basketball team. Even though Bill was no longer coaching, the legacy continued and spread beyond North Mississippi through Kenny, the oldest of the Oakley children. Kenny Oakley coached multiple sports at Fayette Academy in Tennessee until his tragic passing in 1989. His impact on the community and on his children would live on for years to come. His youngest sons honor him today with their own coaching careers, and his oldest, Brian, works in sports media at Northwest. In 2019, the baseball field at Fayette Academy was renamed and dedicated in honor of Coach Kenny Oakley. Back in Tate County, Phil began his long coaching career of high school football and baseball. Phil led Warrior baseball to a state championship and took Warrior football to its only state championship. Before retiring with over 30 years of coaching, he earned Coach of the Year from the Mississippi Association of Coaches. Both of Phil's children continued the tradition as a part of the Ranger baseball program. Brooks, Phil's youngest son, is the last of the Oakley grandchildren to continue the coaching legacy. After Northwest, Brooks graduated from Ole Miss and took his first coaching job at Olive Branch High School. He traveled North Mississippi with successful assistant coaching positions and winning state championships at Itawamba and Starkville high schools. Just a few years after his dad's retirement, Brooks made it back to Tate County, becoming the head coach for the Warriors. In his time at Senatobia High School, Brooks guided the Warriors to the playoffs in every season. Brooks now serves as the head coach for the South Panola Tigers. Meanwhile, Kenny's twin sons have joined their grandfather's coaching legacy at Northwest. Scott knew he would always be a coach, saying, "Some kids grow up with fathers who are carpenters and mechanics. For me, coaching was a way of life, and it's what I knew." While at Northwest in 1998, Scott served as a student assistant under Ranger football coach Bobby Franklin. He then served as a manager at Ole Miss under coach David Cutcliffe. After earning his bachelor's degree, he returned to Northwest coaching softball and football. Scott has remained constant in the football program, leading countless former Ranger receivers to the Division I level. For Shane, the career path was not as obvious. His goals were set far away from the world of sports. In 1997, he enrolled in accounting classes at Northwest. My grandmother felt I was making a mistake. She reminded me that my uncles, who did not coach, wished they had followed my grandfather's example. I realized quickly that my grandmother was right. Shane attended Delta State and picked up his first coaching job as a graduate assistant. After college, he joined Mississippi Delta as the men and women's basketball coach. He also spent a season coaching men's basketball at Jones College. The majority of his career, however, has been at Northwest in the men and women's basketball programs. Shane now serves as the head men's basketball coach since 2018. The twins believe some of the biggest life lessons always come from family, and for them, coaching is about relationships. remembering their father's advice, "Kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." The same is true in life. People want to know you care. Thinking back to my grandfather, we never want to do anything to hurt the legacy he started. That's not limited to wins and losses. It goes back to how you treat people. Today, Scott is entering his 23rd season at Northwest, while Shane will be in his 22nd as a junior college coach. Brooks is entering his 20th season of high school football. Coach Bill Oakley's legacy began here in 1955 and would grow to include 4 generations so far, 2 children, 10 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren attending Northwest, 7 of which were Ranger athletes. 5 would go on to leave a coaching legacy. The Coach Bill Oakley and Family Endowed Scholarship.